Go.
Hello everybody, this is Bob with Top Qualifier Marketing. Today I want to tell you a little story about racing and Perseverance. First time we went to Mexico to race, there was 4 of us. There was 4 of us, and with their guy's son. And so we decided to go to Mexico. And this is a new car we just got, so we decided that they were racing down there. We found out about the race. And it's what they call the Trans Am Series in Mexico. And so we called up, and the first thing they told us, they said, hey, we were thinking about coming down to your race. What we have to do? And the first thing he said was, your car fast? And we didn't know if it was fast, but yeah, it's fast, you know. And so they said, well, they gave us the directions and all that kind of stuff to get to the hotel. So we went to the border on the day we were going to leave, and we left early. Good thing. We left on a Friday morning. The race was supposed to be on a Saturday afternoon, and it's like a 300-mile drive. And so we got to the border. It took us 9 hours at the border to get across the border. I don't know if anybody's been to Mexico, but it's a very corrupt government. And they wanted to get paid. We didn't have enough money to pay them, so we couldn't pay them. So we just had to go through all their rigmarole, or all their little jumps and hoops and all that kind of stuff, until finally I think they just gave up on us and they let us go. Well, in Mexico, you have what they call a frontier, and it's 28 kilometers. So we left there thinking, oh boy, we got it now. So we got to the 28K, and we went through it again. But this time it only took us about 3 hours to get through there, because I guess they figured, well, they made it this far. And they're all checking the car, and they're all checking us, and all this kind of stuff. And it's just a pretty big hassle, but basically just hoops. But still, one more thing. Another guy was going to go with us, and he left before he ever crossed the first border, the first checkpoint. So then we headed down, we found a motel. Well, we get to the motel, and we get all checked in and everything. We go down to the desk and we said, hey, they're having a race, and this is a motel they told us to be in. And the guy says, oh yeah, this is the place. I said, well, how do you get to the racetrack? And he says, the ambulance leaves at 7 o'clock in the morning. Follow it. He wouldn't even tell us where the track was. And they speak only Spanish. I don't speak Spanish. 2 of the guys that were with us spoke Spanish, but it's like a dialect. You know, it's kind of like a Cajun trying to talk to a New Yorker. You know, they speak in the same language, but, you know, it's not all the same words. And my one guy's pretty good at it, and his son was pretty good at it too. So they were basically the translators. So, of course, here we go to follow the ambulance. We've got a truck and a trailer with a race car. It's all set up for all this stuff to carry. And we're trying to follow this ambulance, and he's in kind of a hurry, so we lost him. So now we don't know where the racetrack is. We really don't know where we are. So we're traveling around, and we find a Goodyear store. Now, as luck would have it, the guy that's working in the Goodyear store happens to be a friend of the guy that's with me that speaks Spanish. They grew up together. So he tells us where the racetrack is. So we get to the racetrack. They let us in. We pay our fee, all that kind of stuff, the entry fee and everything. We get inside. Now they won't let us park on the tarmac. They want us to park in the dirt, because they said, well, you know, you're not one of the featured cars. Well, we are in the featured race. And no, you can't park on it. So, well, we have slicks. Would you mind if we park close to it? So they let us park real close to the tarmac, but not on the tarmac. And the car is a beautiful car. It's a 68 Corvette, you know, and it was pearl white with red and blue stripes, you know, a beautiful car. And people are just kind of walking around it, not really paying attention to it. My friends are saying, start it, you know, because everybody had listened to it, because other cars had started and they didn't sound nothing as good as ours. And I kept telling them, no, we're going to wait. So then they call for qualifications. In qualifications, you run for basically 20 minutes, and they take the best lap times, and that's where they qualify to race in the race the next day. And so we did our qualifying runs and all that kind of stuff. Well, we qualified 3rd. Okay, and this is out of like 30, 40 people, and we qualified 3rd. And so now all of a sudden everybody's recognizing the car. So now we went back to the motel. Everybody's telling us how to do this, what to do, how to help us, and they have parties. They invited us to all the parties. We went to the race the next day and actually ran third, and that was my first $1 million check. Well, million pesos, which is about 900 bucks. But it looked good on paper. It said $1 million, and so we got all that. But the point of it is we had to go through all this to get down there to race, knowing that we could probably do good, not knowing how good we would do, but we did very well. But all the steps that we had to take and all the obstacles that we had to overcome just to go to a race that we had to pay to get into. And after that, we never had to pay for another race. They always invited us down. It was great, and it turned out to be a really great couple of years. But it just, perseverance. You need to, once you have a goal set, you need to step up and do it. Okay? So, the end of it. Come race with us. Hope that story was fun. Thank you.